Hey there, and welcome to the very first episode of Wellness Unfiltered with Dr. Quinnett. I am so excited you're here. I'm Dr. Quinnett Swank, therapist, wellness coach, and founder of Swank Counseling and Wellness. And honestly, this has been a long time coming. I still can't even believe that I'm finally here recording the first episode. I've spent a lot of time thinking about this podcast, what I wanted it to be, who I wanted it to serve, the conversations that I wanted to have together. So, thank you for being here from the very beginning. And before we dive in today, I just want to say I know how valuable alone time is. I mean, it really is one of the most valuable things we have. And the fact that you've chosen to spend some of your time with me today truly means a lot. I am grateful that you're here. I see you. And this podcast exists because of women like you. So thank you for being here. But even more importantly, thank you for showing up for yourself. Whether you're listening on a walk, driving to work, working out, or just taking a few minutes for yourself, you're making a choice to pour a little bit of time and energy back into yourself. And that is a beautiful thing. Because the reality is, so many women spend their lives taking care of everyone else, putting themselves at the bottom of the list. And today, you're doing something for you. And while listening to a podcast might seem like a small thing, I believe small steps matter, small choices matter. And sometimes the decision to learn and grow and prioritize yourself is the first step towards creating the life and health that you want. So, thank you for being here. I started this podcast because I saw so many women struggling with stress and anxiety and trying to navigate weight changes and feeling exhausted and feeling disconnected from themselves. Women who were doing all the things they thought they were supposed to do, yet they still weren't feeling their best. And if I'm being honest, I was that woman too. So I wanted to create a space where we could have honest conversations about what's really going on, talk about why it matters, and really talk about, well, what can we do about it? I wanted a space where women could feel seen and supported and informed and empowered because you deserve more than these quick fixes and conflicting advice that we hear so often, especially in the health and wellness space. Okay. You deserve real conversations, practical tools that actually fit in our lives that will help you to create the lasting change that you want across every season of your life. And I'm really excited to dive in to today's topic. And I'm even more excited about all of our future conversations that we're going to have together in future episodes. In fact, I kind of struggled with what should I talk about first? So, without further ado, we're going to get started. And as I was preparing for this first episode, I realized it would be summer by the time that you're listening to it. And summer has a very funny way of making us feel like we're either moving forward or falling behind. For some of us, kids are home from school. I'm in that camp. My kids are home from school. Maybe you're going to be traveling more. Maybe your schedule just looks completely different. The days are longer. There's way more socializing, more vacations, more invitations, and more opportunities, ready for this, to tell ourselves, I'll get serious after summer. I'll focus on myself when life settles down. Does that sound familiar? But what if we looked at summer differently? What if summer wasn't a setback? What if summer was an opportunity? Okay, hear me out. An opportunity to reset, an opportunity to reconnect with yourself, an opportunity to build habits that actually fit your life instead of constantly waiting for the perfect time to start something new. Okay. Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that life is always going to be busy. What I honestly say to my clients often is life is going to life. Okay. Life is always going to life. There will always be vacations. There's always going to be another holiday, another stressful season, another reason to wait. And if we're constantly waiting for the perfect time, we may never start. And if there's one thing you'll hear me say over and over again on this podcast, it's this: your physical health and your mental health are connected. Your stress, the stress you carry, it affects your energy. Your energy affects your motivation. Your habits affect how you feel, and how you feel affects the choices that you make. Okay. And everything, literally everything is connected. That's why for this podcast, it's not just about nutrition, although we will talk about nutrition. It's not just about movement. It's not just about stress, weight loss. We're looking at the whole picture because when we start looking at the whole picture, that's when we start to really see change. And that's exactly why I believe that summer is such a great opportunity. Not because life gets easier, because let's be honest, when you have kids, I have kids. When they're home, life isn't necessarily easier. You don't necessarily have more free time. In fact, I would argue you have less free time. Kids keep you very busy. But summer actually gives us this chance to stop waiting and to start creating habits that actually fit our real life. See, we have this idea that if we can't do things perfectly, then we might as well not do them at all, right? It's like it's that all or nothing mindset. Does that sound familiar? I know I fall in that camp. And when life gets busy and the routines change and the schedule looks different, instead of just adjusting, we tend to abandon everything. We literally will tell ourselves, we'll get back on track later. We'll start over next month. We'll wait until things calm down. And before we know it, months or months have passed. Summer is done. We're in fall, and then we sit and we ask ourselves, "Wait, what happened? I was gonna start something new. I was gonna reset. I was gonna have, focus on my goals." So here's what I want you to remember. Consistency doesn't have to be perfect in order for it to be powerful. So sit with that for a minute. A 20-minute workout 1 or 2 days a week, it counts. A walk around the block, it counts. Drinking some amount of water, it counts. Getting in enough protein, whatever that looks like for you on any given day, it counts. Checking in with yourself, saying, how am I feeling today? How's my stress today? It all counts, and you don't have to be perfect when you're focusing on those things. You just have to keep showing up for yourself. And you have to accept that maybe this is a modified version of what you thought, because a modified version is better than just throwing it all away. Okay. So this summer, I really want you, I'm doing this, to focus on not being perfect. I just want you to focus on being consistent. So, if we look at consistency and when we look at summer and we talk about what it actually looks like to build a routine around what real life is, then we have to reframe something, okay? We have to really think about creating a structure. And sometimes when we hear structure, we're like, whoa, not structure in the summer. We do structure during the school year. No, structure is not the enemy, okay? Structure actually gives us freedom. Structure helps your brain and your body to not feel like it has to spend all of this energy trying to figure out what the heck you're going to do. When you have some sort of a structure, some sort of a framework for your day, okay, when you're going to work out, what you're going to eat, when you're going to just have some me time, that helps your body, that helps your brain to have the energy for other things. And here's what I personally do. And I'm not sharing this because I think it's perfect and you need to do exactly what I'm doing. No, I'm sharing because I want to share what a realistic routine looks like when you have a life and you have kids who are involved in activities. So my mornings in the summer, they start a little bit later and I give myself grace for that. I don't tell myself, "Oh, you still need to wake up, at the crack of dawn and get a workout in." No, I sleep in. I go to bed a little bit later, I sleep in, but I still start my day with movement. And for me, that's a workout. And my workouts tend to be 30 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes, depending on what I'm doing. But I keep them very short. Because that's what's sustainable. That allows me to work out 4 days a week when I know, oh, it's a 30-minute workout. Then I always finish my workout with a walk or a run outside. And that is also very loose, right? I'm doing one or the other. I don't have a certain amount of time or a distance. Whatever my body feels like it needs, I give it to it. But what I want to tell you is the reason I start with a workout and getting outside is because I live in Las Vegas. It gets very hot here. And so there's a chance that depending on how hot it is going to be that day, I may not get outside until the evening when the sun is gone. So I like to make sure that I am prioritizing getting some sun. We know how great vitamin D is for us, or if you don't, we will be talking about that. So getting outside first thing in the morning when it's still cool enough to go for a 20-minute walk or a 15-minute run or whatever it is. Getting outside helps me to feel more grounded, helps me to feel more energized, and honestly, it really just sets a very positive tone for my day. I feel so much more regulated. Then I look at my schedule because during the summer, I still see clients, but I am very intentional about my calendar. I will block work time so that I'm not overscheduling myself because I love seeing clients. I love what I do. And if I have a opening in my schedule and I have a client that reaches out and wants to meet with me, chances are I'm gonna put it in there. But during the summer, I'm very intentional about not doing that. I don't wanna overschedule myself because I want to make sure that I'm also protecting my family time. I wanna make sure that I'm protecting time to spend with my husband and with my kids. So if I don't look at my schedule and really be intentional about blocking some time off, it's not gonna happen. So it's not about having this perfect schedule, it's just about being very intentional and setting these essentially goals for myself of how I want to show up for myself and also how I want to show up for my family. Um, so when you create things for you, for your day that help you feel your best, whether that's movement, whether that's time for yourself, whether that's taking care, taking time out, spending it with the people that you care about, whatever that looks like for you, you build it for you. You create a routine for you because all of that is going to support your mental health. Because the reality is, when structure disappears, which tends to happen in summer, everything feels harder. Okay. Everything feels harder. So here's the three things that I want you to take away from what I've talked about today. Three things. Number one, protect your mornings. Give yourself 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Give yourself 15 minutes, okay? I just want you to give yourself some time in the morning before the rest of the world starts needing something from you. Don't jump on your phone and check your email. Give yourself some time for either movement, do some reading. If you like to journal, do journaling, or you just simply sit and have the quiet, enjoy the quiet with your coffee or your tea or water, whatever it is. Give yourself that time in that space in the morning. The second thing is this: I don't want you to abandon your goal. I just want you to adjust it. And this is huge. Maybe you are someone who enjoys working out, but you find that during the summertime, you don't get to work out as long as you want to. That's okay. Don't abandon the workout completely, just adjust it. Maybe your routine does look a little bit different. Maybe you're traveling more. That's okay. Just adjust so that it fits your life during this time. Remember, taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. So make sure that you are giving yourself the time to show up for you. And the third thing is communicate your needs, whether it's to your spouse, your partner, your family, friends, coworkers, anyone else in your life. Let people know what you need. You don't have to carry everything. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to do it all alone. Ask for what you need. It is okay to say, kids, mom needs some quiet time. You don't have to sit and be quiet, but mom is going to go and have some quiet time. That is okay. Communicate what you need. Your mental health does not take a break during summer. There's no summer break for mental health. So the support shouldn't change. You can still say that you need support. You have to when you're communicating that. Okay? So if you take nothing else away from today, I want you to remember this. Summer is not a setback. Summer is an opportunity. And maybe for the first time, instead of seeing summer as this time where you typically fall off track, maybe you see summer as the season that you finally start showing up for yourself. And it's an opportunity for you to reconnect with yourself, to build consistency, to create habits that fit your real life. You don't have to wait till fall. You don't have to wait until life slows down. And you don't have to wait for this perfect time. Okay, start today. Start with one walk. Start with setting one boundary, one small step. Remember, the small steps matter. And small steps that are repeated consistently, that's where real change happens. Okay, small steps. That is all for today. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be so grateful if you would follow the podcast, leave a review, share it with someone who may need to hear this message. We are all heading in December, whether you have kids or not, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And if there's a topic that you would like me to cover on a future episode, don't be a stranger. Send me a message on Instagram at Swank Wellness. I would love to hear from you. And if you're ready to take the next step in your wellness journey and would like support, I offer virtual wellness coaching for women nationwide, and I would love to support you. So you can learn more or schedule a consultation at swankcounseling.com. And before we go, I do want to mention that the information that I share in this podcast is for educational purposes only. It is not intended to replace medical advice, mental health treatment, or the advice of your healthcare provider. So if you have concerns about your physical or mental health, please make sure you reach out to a qualified healthcare professional. Remember, your body isn't working against you, it's communicating with you. So stay curious, keep showing up for yourself. And I hope to see you in the next episode of Wellness Unfiltered with Dr. Quinnett. Until next time, take care.